Hi, this is Carlos with House of Tennis, and in this video we will cover the slice technique in 6 simple steps. Also the tactical advantages of this great shot. The slice is an effective shot that a player on every level should work on. Working on a proper technique and having lots of repetition to develop an effective shot that can be used on various tactical situations during any match. Now, in order to have the proper form on the slice, the first step is to have a solid ready position where your body should be facing the net with the toes pointing forward. Your feet should be slightly wider than shoulder width apart, and your knees should be slightly bent. Make sure you hold the racket in front of you with the dominant hand holding the forehand grip and your non-dominant hand holding the racket on the neck. The next step, once that you hit a slice, is to position your hitting hand with the continental grip and your non-dominant hand on the neck of the racket. To find the continental grip, put the base of your index knuckle and the base of the palm of your hand on bevel number 2 of the grip. Now, once that you have the continental grip, the next step is to make a strong body unit turn by raising the racket up to the head level over the non-dominant shoulder with the racket face open. Keep your elbows away from your body and your head should still be facing the incoming ball over dominant shoulder. Also, your dominant shoulder should be close to your chin and your hands and racket should be behind you and up and high. A drill that you can do to improve the turn is to start with a split step working on the unit turn. Make sure that you focus on having the continental grip, verify the racket position and the body posture. No ball is necessary, so you can work by doing shadows. Remind the player that after hitting a slice, the neutral position should always be with the forehand grip in the dominant hand. Non-dominant hand should be on the neck of the racket. After a good solid unit turn, you should use a small adjustment step to set up the feet properly in order to time the slice and create a solid push forward to create good leverage and balance while you're hitting the slice. The movement could be to the side, forward, or backwards depending if you're trying to hit a neutral, defensive, or offensive slice. Now, once that you identify the slice that you want to execute, the next step is to maintain the concept of space and balance regardless the position of the ball. After a proper feet setup, the next step is to load by putting the weight on the outside leg in order to create good leverage and weight transfer on your slice. Bending your knees on the load is crucial for a well-executed slice, especially when dealing with a low bouncing ball. A good knee bend allows you to hit through the ball and penetrate the shot as the racket slides underneath the ball. Work on moving in all different directions, focusing on finding the right space between you and the ball. Then approach the ball with a quick succession of small steps. This allows you to be more reactive around the tracking of the ball and also to build some momentum with your footwork, which will help you to get more control and balance on your slice. After setting your feet and loading properly, the next step is to begin the swing by letting go of the racket with the non-dominant hand. The swing path of the racket will be forward and slightly down. As the hitting arm moves from behind you towards your body, it should completely straighten. A straight arm on the contact will give you more power and precision. It is very important to move the non-dominant arm back and open your shoulder blades in order to keep the correct balance during the swing of the slice. Work on your slice using side and bottom locks to control a high to lower swing path, focusing on your dominant arm. Keep the non-dominant arm behind your back to focus on the correct motion of the dominant arm. Then add the non-dominant arm and use it to add balance and stability to your swing path. Another way to improve the swing path is to stay on one knee and contact the ball with the racket face open where the strings will be pointed upwards slightly. The ground will serve you as an efficient block to keep the proper swing path. Then it is a good idea to add the movement, the load, and step forward with the inside foot as you hit the ball in order to transfer your weight forward and create a continuous motion. Once that you contact the ball, keep the arm moving forward and down. By doing this, your arm will automatically move to the dominant side of your body. The arm should go to your dominant side only at the tail end of your stroke. After making contact with the ball, the racket moves across your body and your shoulders should be square to the net with your body weight on the front foot. The angle of the racket at the finish varies depending on the type of slice that you want to hit. The more open the angle of the face of the racket, the more backspin will be applied to the ball. Work on all different finishes and targets in order to master all of the variations of the slice. Work on deep slices, mid-court slices, and drop shots. Now that we cover the technical aspects of the slice, it's very important to understand the slice could be used for neutral, defensive, and offensive tactical purposes. When your opponent hits a low mid-court ball, a low slice approach can be an effective tactic to come to the net. It keeps the ball low and it forces your opponent to hit up on the passing shot, which should give you an option of an easier volley. Also, forcing your opponent to hit a passing shot on a low slice ball can be very difficult and often result in an error. An excellent tactical play when an opponent does not move forward very well, enjoys playing from the baseline, or happens to have a weak net game is to hit a mid-court low slice that forces your opponent to get out of his comfort zone and move to the net. This will give you the option to expose his weakness and come up with an easier passing shot. The best ways to use the drop shot is when your opponent happens to be behind the baseline and you happen to be inside the baseline. The main goal when hitting a drop shot is to take the pace of your opponent's balls and hit the drop shot as close to the net as possible. Drop shot windup has the same windup as the slice, and it will allow you to disguise the shot by keeping your opponent guessing. A low deep slice is used to keep the ball away from your opponent's ideal strike zone, which is usually from the waist to the chest level. Therefore, a low slice will stay way below that ideal strike zone, and it will make it extra uncomfortable for all tall opponents and players that have extreme forehand and backhand grips. Many players enjoy hitting balls that come with pace. Therefore, a low slice can also neutralize the point by avoiding your opponent to get into a great rhythm. Using the slice to change the spin, height, and pace of the ball can really throw off an opponent that relies on pace to generate power. Hitting an effective slice could force your opponent to respond with a slice of their own. If your opponent does not have a good slice, it will give you the option of gaining a positive position in the point. A weak slice from your opponent is a great opportunity to find your stronger shot, which in most cases is the forehand side, and you can use it to take the offense of the point. When you happen to be off the court after a good shot from your opponent, the long hand time of a slice should give you more than enough time to recover to the center and to get ready to prepare for the next shot. Also, the defensive slice will force your opponent to have to generate his own pace on the next shot. When your opponent keeps the ball very low or short, the only response available will often be a slice, since it will allow you to have more reach and the option to improvise with your hands as a last resort purpose. When returning serves with high velocity or when you are fully stretched after a well-placed serve from your opponent, you might need to use the chip return in order to stay in the point. The technique on the slice return is a bit different than the conventional slice because it's more of a block or a shorter swing. You want to have a much shorter swing than on a normal slice because you'll be using the pace of your opponent's serve. Your goal is to keep the ball nice and deep and allow you to have plenty of time to recover and start the point back in neutral. The forehand slice shouldn't be used as a substitute for your forehand. It's a shot that you should use only when you're scrambling to retrieve a good shot by your opponent, or you can set up to hit a regular forehand. If you're serious about improving in tennis, you'll definitely need to add the backhand and the forehand slice to your arsenal. Once that you get the technique and understand the tactical importance and benefits of the slice, it will grow your skill set as a tennis player and it will take your game to the next level. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe, and if you have any questions, use the comment section. Thank you.